Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Rich Holland here from Slo-pitch For Autism. Welcome to Off the Diamond, the weekly show where we talk to different personalities from the slow pitch and or autism world that have had an impact on us. Today's guest, we have the captain of Bailey's Beasts, and more importantly, Bailey's mom. Welcome, Shari Bishop. How you doing, Shari?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So we were talking for a second there real quickly off camera about what you've been doing during this whole time. You mentioned that you've been working the whole time, eh?
So I work for community living here in St. Thomas where I work. So our work is 24/7, so we don't stop.
Yeah, I bet. And nowadays it's probably busier than ever as well.
Yeah, we've had some staff go off on leaves because of COVID, so we're all trying to cover everybody else's shifts. So it's pretty busy.
How's things been in St. Thomas generally?
St. Thomas is a different city. It's kind of hit or miss, but it's been okay, I guess. Now that things are opening it up, it's a little bit crazier, but
yeah.
Mhm.
How's Bailey doing?
Bailey's struggling, to be very honest. Like the no routine thing really throws her. She's a very routine oriented kid.
Right.
So as soon as school went to online, that was a huge struggle for us. Yeah, she's basically lost everything all at once. Like she struggles really hard at school and then she struggles really hard to make friends. And even though she loves both of those things, she's kind of trying to piece it all together. So that's kind of hard during COVID.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the
Mhm.
things that I was going to ask you about is how the shutdown is affecting her. I mean, I know that in some cases, the lack of social interaction hasn't been that big a deal, but the
Mhm.
routines being just blowing up, I'm guessing that's probably the biggest issue, is it?
It's really, really hard because, and with me still working, like I'm a single parent, so it's kind of hard when we can't have workers come in and work with her anymore. And then with COVID, you can't have workers coming in technically to be
Right.
doing things. So Riley has really stepped up a lot and done a lot of things with Bailey. But Bailey's used to getting up at a certain time, going to school at a certain time, coming home and having dance. And she can't really socialize with her friends besides technology. And then you try and keep them off technology so they're not just sitting on it. But then you kind of have to resort to it at the same, because that's all they have right now to connect with anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think as things are starting to open up that may improve a little bit, or do you think it's still going to be quite a while?
She struggles with it opening up a little bit. Like she's been very on top of all the rules and all the updates. It will help her so that she can still maybe have a friend over with things opening up a bit.
Right.
But without school, even as much as it is a struggle for her, it's a big part of her life that she knows what to do next. So the not knowing what we're going to do next or the next step and waiting on Doug Ford to announce whatever it is, she struggles with that because she can't plan for it. And we plan for everything every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm the same way. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's being able to plan is huge for me. So I can just imagine for her, it's
Yeah.
got to be tough.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a few things. We'll talk a little bit about autism first. I mean, Bailey's what, 14 now?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
She was just a little girl, it seems, not
Yep.
too long ago. But
Yep.
so you've dealt with this for quite some time. I mean, being a parent of a girl with autism, what advice would you give to families that are maybe just getting that diagnosis or are very early on into how to be able to deal with things?
My biggest thing was we struggled for a few years getting Bailey diagnosed. I've worked in the field for like over 20 years, but when you see a red flag, you know it. And unfortunately, you question it. And we went to 3 different doctors before I would accept Bailey's diagnosis because she is higher functioning, unfortunately, the word,
Mm-hmm.
but she struggles with social and all of that. So as a parent, I would just say, listen to your gut, do what's best for your kid, and you're going to hurt people's feelings, but your first job is to be an advocate for your child.
Absolutely. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
get the right answers from doctor number 1, go to doctor
You
number
keep
2.
going. You know when something is up, you know that it's not, technically normal what's ever happening, or you can feel it when something's not happening the way it should be, kind of thing.
Right.
So,
So, and some of the things that we try to do as Slo-pitch for Autism is, first of all, just trying to raise awareness. And I think as a society, we're doing pretty good with that right now. I think a lot of people understand what autism is, but I feel like we still are not at a point where there is complete acceptance, and maybe that's due to a lack of understanding. I don't know. I mean, what do you think we as a society can do to help bring complete acceptance?
The biggest thing that I would probably suggest is don't judge a book by its cover, because autism is such a huge open-ended spectrum. Like, you have Bailey, who's classified as autism, and then you have people who are severely autistic. And we've had judges, many people say, well, she's not autistic, you just need to parent better, or something stupid like that.
Right.
And it really isn't that. It's just such a wide-ended spectrum. So if people could just learn not to judge other people, not, if it doesn't involve you, like, really, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally agree. I mean, I say it at all our tournaments, but I swear that's the number one comment that I hear from parents with children with autism is when they go in public, the comments and the looks and the stuff like that. And it's judgment that people don't need. They don't understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't know what it took that parent to get out there and get into public, how long it took them, maybe 3 hours to even get to Walmart for a 5-minute shopping trip. And maybe there's a meltdown that happens. Like you say at all your tournaments, if you'd like to offer acceptance, if not, just keep walking. Don't stand there and stare and pass judgment. Like, the parent doesn't need any more stress.
Yeah. So obviously you've got 14 years of experience on this now. I mean, what are some of the negatives and positives that you've gone through over the years?
We get a lot of judgment. We live in a small town. So I've basically lived here all my life, and it's a very old school town, I would say. So you're either physically disabled or you're not disabled. And we struggle with that a lot, because a lot of people with autism, there's not a physical disability that goes along with it. So they get judged everywhere they go. It's just a common thing, like, everywhere we go, unfortunately. Like, our biggest issue when we go to Costco, like, we usually take Jazz to the very busy places. So Bailey has a service dog. We get comments, whether it be about Bailey, or people like to make comments about why she has a service dog. So I don't even know how to address that one, to be honest, because it's everywhere, unfortunately. And that's where you'll see Bailey get a little bit mouthy, I would say, because she's just learned to say, mind your business, because we had to develop that really early, because people would just stand there and stare. Well, and I would say, do you have a question? Like, kids have been fantastic about having Jazz in public. It's the adults that are a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
What about positives?
Yeah.
What about positives over the years?
We've met a lot of amazing families that we're very close with, who are in our circle, in our bubble. We've received a lot of support from our community in St. Thomas. Like, we started Bailey's flag raising in 2012. That was the first one ever done all across Canada, and now all across Canada does it for World Autism Day. You have the people who have your back, basically, and help support you. We started playing for Slo-pitch For Autism, which I didn't even know existed till 2 years ago. We've met so many great families and friends through that. It's opened my eyes, basically, just raising Bailey and supporting others with autism, that just to accept people for who they are, kind of thing. But it really just makes you appreciate what's important in the world and really what's not. And then the amazing things that she has overcome, and then the struggles that she does have. There's those things where she finally makes a breakthrough or whatever. Bailey was a kid who never used to talk to people. There's people now, if she loves you to the death of you. But mind you, if she's stuck on something, she's not budging.
I remember, I think it was in Wyndham where she actually came up and spoke a little bit on the microphone. Yeah. And that was huge. Eh? Yeah. You mentioned her flag too. You know what? I think that's still my profile picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
Is her flag.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So you play ball as well. So obviously I wanted to talk a little bit about ball also. Um, I mean, on the diamond, I mean, what's some of your favorite experiences that you've had playing ball?
Ball's basically my stress relief. So I just love playing ball. I love the social interaction. I love meeting new people. That's how we've pulled tons of people to play for your tournaments. Whenever we're stuck for somebody, there's 20 people willing to play for us because it's just a close circle of people who love it, who accept it, who want to play for it for a good cause. I can tell you our best Slo-pitch for Autism experience was when we played Yankees last year in Woodstock. That tournament was the best. Not because that we even won, but Caitlin and her team, we've become friends with so many of the players, like especially from Slo-pitch for Autism, but that whole team and Kirk that day, Bailey doesn't engage with many people at all. And like I said, when she does, she really does. There's a reason she wants to talk to you. But she was incredibly proud. And you don't really see that reaction from Bailey. She doesn't really show a lot of, I don't even know, like physical reactions to things. Like she's never been a hugger. She's empathetic to other people, but not to herself. Like she always puts on a really kind of, cold exterior. But that day she was so absolutely excited that they all cared to involve her. And when she ran those bases and everybody was cheering her on, she's like, Mom, they actually know who I am. And she was so, so proud. So
that was an amazing experience.
I knew that one was going to get me.
Yeah. And just, I mean, for the people that weren't there, I'll offer up a little bit of background and correct me if I'm wrong here, but basically your team was playing against Yankees.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, they took the field and Bailey took an at-bat with Kirk umpiring.
Yeah.
And she ran the bases and got the home run, and Kirk called her safe at home, and both teams were there to congratulate.
Totally.
Yeah,
they were really good.
That was a really awesome experience for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can go from something so dramatic to humorous or not, but
okay.
I always try to ask, I mean, what are some of the funnier things that you've seen on the ball diamond?
I don't even know. Like, I know we went to a couple dress-up tournaments last year in Springfield. I wasn't able to be there, but Fred took our team.
Right.
And that was quite an experience. I think you guys had shared with NSA that day.
We did, yes.
Yeah. So I know that Riley went on behalf of us, my older daughter, and she absolutely loved it. So she loved seeing all the costumes and everybody just getting in the spirit. And she was sending pictures to Bailey and I because we were at a work convention in Toronto. So I know that was quite a funny one, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if we can get things cleared up and get back on the diamond, we have it scheduled for again this year at Springfield.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of fun to see people just again. Like get involved and stuff. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, what? I guess it's still baseball related, but with regards to Slo-pitch for Autism, I mean, what do you think the biggest draw to our brand is?
Honestly, I think it's because you're doing it. You guys aren't doing it for yourselves. You guys are organizing this for families who honestly, people have no idea how much it costs autism families because so many services are private services that we have to go to because there's such a long wait list to attend anything. And so many kids, unfortunately, have autism of some degree, and then we can't get the services. So you have to go private, which means parents go to pocket. And for you guys to be helping families to just help their child any way that benefits them at that point, it's amazing. And I think a lot of people that I know and baseball players that I know want to play just to help.
Yeah. I mean, personally, when we pay the families, it's $500, and it doesn't feel like it's a lot because I know the expenses are huge. But at the same time, with the number of families that are out there, and being able to just do something for them. I mean, that's far and away the best part of my job, is phoning up somebody or sending them a message saying, hey, we've got some additional funds for you. You know, the reactions that we get are incredible. So that's really cool.
Well, I can tell you, when you guys gave Bailey her 500 last year, we weren't planning on going to nationals. She had won a spot to go dance for nationals in Collingwood.
Right.
And it was a week-long spot, which was a huge expense on top of everything else. And we weren't expecting anything from you guys at that tournament. So you surprised us, which was nice because it was St. Thomas and Bailey was there. But that helped Bailey do something that she loved that she wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, and that's so awesome. I mean, that's what it's really about, because I mean, I know things like service dogs, for instance, you're talking $20,000, you know, and we're hardly making a dent in that. But if we can provide somebody with an experience they'll remember, then it makes it all worth it, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I just got a couple more questions here for you.
Sure.
But, oh, by the way, while I think of it, have you seen these?
No, those are awesome.
That's one. There's another.
Very cool.
Yeah, and one more. We just got these in.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, they're buffs. You can wear them, face mask, headband,
nice.
whatever you want. Yeah, they're pretty cool. So they're kind of flying off the shelf right now. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but
yeah,
at least we're getting some things happening around here.
There you
go. One more baseball question, and this is just dreaming, I suppose, but you play ball. If you could play anywhere, any diamond, anywhere in the world, where would you want to play?
Probably in Toronto at the Sky Dome.
Oh, yeah?
Well, Rogers Center, I guess it's called now, but yeah.
Yeah, and it'll probably be called something new by the time you get there.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
We used to always go there, like even when Bailey was younger, that was one summer thing that we always did, because I've always loved baseball.
Right.
She hasn't always been a baseball fan, but she loved going to watch them play in person. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome. What's the future hold for Shari Bishop?
Oh, that's a pretty wide open question, Rich.
It is.
I don't know. We just moved, so we just got a house in St. Thomas with a pool. So I guess I'd continue to work to pay for that. Yeah, we'll see.
Kids enjoying the pool though?
That's probably our only saving grace with Bailey. She probably goes in it like 10 times a day.
Wow. Nice. Nice. So I am going to finish off here with some rapid fire questions.
I'm scared of these.
Yeah. I'll just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
How's that?
Yep.
Place you'd most like to vacation?
Nova Scotia.
Who do you look up to?
Oh, probably my Nona.
Being in the Alps or swimming in the ocean?
Swimming in the ocean.
Favorite band or artist?
Tragically Hip.
City or country?
Country.
What kind of toilet paper did you hoard?
2-ply. We're good.
What do you like better, hitting or defense?
Defense.
Favorite movie?
The Wedding Singer.
If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be?
People to stop judging other people.
Awesome. Hey, you know what? You did pretty good with that.
Thanks.
So I want to thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.